Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break. Brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Busch.
I want to buy a couple ducks. I'm bringing 2 ducks to the office.
This is Early Break.
Good morning. Happy Thursday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break. Bill Busch out today. He is back again tomorrow. We'll get to Husker Hoops in a second. What a diabolical win that was for the Huskers. Just took them apart, the Hoosiers, Mike Woodson, and dressed in his suit, looked good, looked festive. But his team did not play very festive last night in a blowout loss for the Hoosiers. Get to that in a second. How are you this morning, Sip?
Good. I'm looking up diabolical. Did you use that right?
I don't know. I don't think it was the worst.
Word patrol.
I don't think it was the worst use of it.
Wow. Here we go.
We
now,
found out that Plumper was used okay properly yesterday.
Yeah,
I was all right in that one.
You were on quite a roll yesterday.
I was typical.
Yeah. It's not where I was going. Diabolical.
Yeah, what do you got?
This is very questionable. No, you might be okay.
I think I'm okay with diabolical.
What'd you call it? A diabolical win by Nebraska?
Yes.
Number one doesn't fit. Characteristic of the devil.
Devilish win.
Or so evil as to be suggestive of the devil.
Yeah, it was pretty evil.
I don't think so.
It's diabolical.
A diabolical win it really caught my attention when you said that.
You are a wordsmith over there. You catch the words, just catch your ears differently. They do.
Diabolical.
Yeah.
Now number 2, this is I don't know what the hell this dictionary is. The number two, what am I looking for?
Diabolical.
Yeah, the number 2 definition. It might be okay. It might be okay. You might be okay here. Disgracefully bad or unpleasant.
Indiana played that way.
Yeah.
They're diabolical.
Yeah.
So maybe the term I used wasn't proper, but I think for Indiana it was.
It was funny, though.
I like,
diabolical.
big words are tough for me sometimes. I try to keep the short words that are easier. Fine. Fine.
We should have some idle chit-chat.
Yeah, we should. What do you got? Anything?
Sponsored by what?
Newton's Lawn Care. Call them to get ahead for your 2024 fertilizing plans. As spring's approaching in the next couple months, what do you got for idle chit-chat? I got a couple things, but you go first.
All right. I'll go first. You know what to do if you got to go to the store today. Couple things.
Ask about the weather.
It could be slick out there. Be careful.
Bella brought it up walking in. She said, it's kind of slick out there. She said that.
If you're at Super Saver,
which is fine. I'm not trying to call Bella out. That's fair.
If you're at Super Saver in line and it gets awkward if it's a long line, just say to the person, man, it was slick this morning. You really had to kind of watch your footing. And how about your windshield? Gosh, I'm not used to that quite yet. All the scraping. So there's some small talk.
Was that what you're?
And then the second part
of it for the store.
Yeah, I got you guys covered if you need small talk today. Then the next small talk is, have you seen the long-term weather? Single digits.
I didn't even see that. I haven't looked ahead.
Single digits.
I haven't looked ahead to the weather.
Yeah.
Usually I do, but I've not been in that mode.
And then say this. But it's not supposed to snow. So, I mean, it's just the cold.
You are prepared for Super Saver and Hy-Vee.
Yeah.
You are ready to go.
Yeah. If you're waiting for chicken, like I go and I wait for chicken at Russ's, sometimes there's a line and you can talk to people. Somebody's going to say something to you probably. You can say, yeah, do you see the long term? Single digits.
You live for these. You live for the grocery store. You were meant for this.
Okay, that's my idle chit-chat.
I like that. I was out with Bill. Actually, yes, we were talking to some people in Holdridge, Nebraska yesterday.
You and Bill?
Yes.
Without me. You see that Bell without Bell?
Do you want to go on a sales call to Holdridge, Nebraska? No. Okay, that's what I thought. Bill had spoken. And by the way, regarding Bill, he has a message to deliver right now. The reason why Bill is not here is he had a speaking engagement in Kearney last night. So he stayed the night. He's in Kearney.
That's fine.
If you want to book Bill also for speaking, he's available.
Yeah, book him.
CoachBillBusch.com.
Book him. Say it again.
Coach Bill Busch, BUSCH.com.
.com.
And I think he booked 2 appointments last night when his speech.
Good God.
Just loading up.
He's not going to need to do the
show. No, he'll be at the show still. He'll be here. So we hope it went well for you last night, Bill, in Kearney, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Missing Tooth Greg.
What's Missing Tooth Greg saying?
I was a little off on the single digits, although it's still fun to say. Friday, it's supposed to be, no, I'm not off on the single digits. You can say, yeah, in the daytime, it's going to be 12, 11, but at night, you can say this to the person, like -2, -4.
Ooh.
So get your heater.
Negative, yeah. And your fireplace.
Yeah, and maybe an extra blanket on your bed.
Maybe some moccasins on your feet. some slippers, maybe some thick socks.
Or moccasins.
Yeah, moccasins are important too.
Yeah.
But before, in Holdridge. I was in Holdridge.
Yes, you and Bill. Without me.
Talked to several great businesses out there. We had a great meeting. I'm at Parker Lindstrom was out there. We met with Parker and his family.
Parker. Okay.
Bill had spoken to that group a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
In Holdridge.
So you're drumming up business.
We're drumming up business. We're trying to go statewide, baby. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help. I played at a wonderful. So we love Double Eagle Golf here in Lincoln. We love Sam, but I want the whole state to have that chance to play. And they had a wonderful downtown golf simulator in Holdridge. It's called The Drive. It was awesome. They had food there. I had a brisket panini yesterday.
God, you're living.
Yeah, I hit some golf shots.
You're living.
I was having a good day. It was fun.
And they supplied the golf clubs.
I had my own golf clubs. I always travel with my clubs. I don't usually play at this time of year, but if they have an indoor simulator, there's a chance I'm going to play.
They're in your trunk. They're in your trunk.
In my trunk. Yep. So I saw the Lindstroms. I saw a lot of other people out there. My buddy Gavin.
And you came back last night.
I came back. I got back about 8:50 p.m. last night. I got back. So I listened to the basketball game. We'll get to that in a second. I watched the whole second half, but that was fun. So shout out to Holdridge. Shout out to my friends David and Diet at Gifts and Things, also in Holdridge. Stopped by and saw them. So what a wonderful town.
It sounds like Nebraska. It sounds like a productive day.
I love going to Central Nebraska. I love it. It's very welcoming, peaceful out there.
I don't know if I should do this to you. How would you? I'm going to. How do you describe Holdridge? I've never.
Holdridge is a nice, quaint town. Quaint. Quaint. Quaint.
Okay.
It's a Class B school, so it's on the lower edge of Class B. But I was always impressed that they have a brewery there.
Oh yes,
Lost Way Brewery. They got several. Lost Way. They got several good restaurants there.
How's Way spelled?
W-A-Y.
I mean, what? Way. How do you spell curds in whey? Maybe it's W-A-Y.
That might be W-H-E-Y.
All right, that's why I was wondering.
Okay, there's different ways to spell whey. Fine,
yeah,
but
that's why I was wondering. Maybe that they make beer with whey or something.
Okay, that's fair. Now you're digging yourself out of that hole there,
right.
Which is fine. But it's a nice, quaint town. Visit it. Travel to Holdridge. It's great town, great people there.
You guys drove. You drove separately.
We drove separately because he had to stay in Kearney, which he's at right now, and I drove home last night. I got home at 8:50. It was a long day.
I wonder if Bill turned on the Eagles and listened to "Peaceful Easy Living."
No, that'd be the Hawks. That'd be the Hawks' cover band.
Peaceful Easy Living.
That'd be the Hawks' the cover band at the Royal Grove. You listen to there. So no. Shout out to Holdridge and the guys out there. But again, that's Idle Chit Chat, sponsored by Newton's Lawn Care. 402-464-5685. If you are watching on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, or Allo 951, you're seeing me in my Husker retro jacket again, which you said was juvenile earlier. What'd you say? Middle school?
Adolescent.
We'll go with that. I wear this when Nebraska performs. And Nebraska performed last night. Sip, they played last week against a horrible team, South Carolina State, and blew them out of the water. And then they come back with the Big Ten opponent. They play Indiana, and Nebraska beats the Hoosiers. They don't just win; they beat them down 86-70. Your final score 86-70. Nebraska wins by 16 over Mike Woodson's Hoosiers, and it was a complete effort. I'll play some audio from Hoiberg in a second, but he said in postgame, and if you watch, you would agree that this was probably the most complete effort Nebraska's had all season. And think about this. The question was Rink Mast going to play? Well, he started. He didn't just play. He started. He didn't play 30 minutes in the ball game. Now, some of that was because of injuries, not injuries, but fouls. so he had to play more than maybe they wanted to. But
he played 29 minutes.
But Rink Mast gives you 9 points, 3 boards. It's not the biggest stat line, but he also had some really good passes in this ball game.
He's critical.
He is critical.
He's critical, and he did play actually 30 minutes.
Yeah, I said 30 minutes.
Yeah, sorry. 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
And it was now you listened to the first half and watched the second. I listened to the second half on the radio, and it did. I mean, they came out of the halftime locker room, they being Nebraska, smoking. I mean, they just put the hammer to Indiana.
Well, here's Fred Hoiberg on the importance. So Nebraska was up at halftime, 41-33. Hoiberg was asked about how the importance of starting out the second half strong to avoid that Minnesota meltdown they had. Here's Fred Hoiberg last night on the importance of a good start to the second half.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've talked a lot about that. We had a couple games, Creighton, Minnesota, where it did not go our way, and it's been a big thing that we've talked about with our guys going out and trying to set the tone, either getting back into a game or extending a lead. And tonight to get it up to 15 right away and force a timeout, that was an important stretch. You hate to go out there and they score the first 3 buckets. Now you call a timeout and they get confident and they get a little swagger going. And now you're fighting uphill. But, I was proud of our guys for coming out of the locker room and really played good, aggressive basketball in that second half and really for the entire 20 minutes.
What's great, though, Sip, is that in doing so, it was a collective effort. It wasn't Tominaga going for, 12 straight points. It wasn't Bryce Williams going for 10 straight. It was everybody.
Bryce Williams hit a shot.
He did.
I think Mast got to the rack.
I believe you're correct on that.
I think Wilcher. Maybe not Wilcher. He was good the first half.
Wilcher had a really good first half.
But anyway, you're right. It was a collective effort. Now, K-State did finish with 28.
Yeah, he got hot in the second half. He got really hot.
And, after that initial run to start the second half, it was pretty much over. Well, I'm going pretty much over.
See, I can't say that because of what happened against Minnesota, right? I mean, Nebraska was up by, 16, 17 points a half or 15 points a half at Minnesota. And I thought they had a chance to win that game, and it fell apart. So I can't say that, even though they've won now 5 straight games. I'm not comfortable in a conference game saying it's over, especially with the way I think there was 2 straight possessions that Indiana scored an alley-oop dunks.
Right,
and the big guy.
They got it back to 8 or 9 a couple times, and I get where you're coming from. And listen, I was just listening, so you have a better feel for it. It just felt like that. Now, I will say this: Kent Pavelka didn't say this game's over, for all intents and purposes, until 2.5 minutes remained. So
smart man. It's an experienced broadcaster.
Right. I just thought after that surge, Indiana doesn't shoot the ball well enough, I didn't think, to get all the way back.
It was on because a couple of times I thought this is going to be out of control. Nebraska would pull away. And then of all the people, it was Malik Renew, a big guy, one of their post players. They hit a couple, 2 threes. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, he had only
7-footers hitting threes out here?
Yeah, he had only hit 8 all year.
Yeah.
So
he made 2 in the game. Dang. Trying to pull away, and this guy makes a couple big threes. But Nebraska does pull away again. They win 86-70. Like you said, Tominaga, 28 points. He was 4 of 10 on threes, 9 of 15 overall. And we heard from Hoiberg in the postgame and his thoughts on K-State, as well as Rink Mast playing well after the injury. Here's Fred Hoiberg after the game last night.
It was great to see K-State get it going. I love that his family was in the building. It's a special thing, being away from his family for as long as he has the last few years. And, for them to witness this event, I told him they need to find a place over here. He seems to be pretty damn good when they're in the building. And then Rink's parents were able to be here as well. And, the thing you got to understand about Rink, he had his procedure done the day after the Kansas State game, and he's really had a day and a half of practice. Jeez. And for him to go out there, probably played a few more minutes than we would have liked just because of the foul trouble. And the communication that we had with the medical staff, he did not have a limit on his minutes per se, but we wanted to try to, get him in and out as much as possible. I got him out of there early. That was by design. And then with the foul trouble in the first half, we had to have him on the floor. He just does so many things for us with his versatility on both ends. But, for the most part, I thought just the consistency, CJ going out there, we did a great job finding him. Unfortunately, he went down with back spasms in the second half. But, from start to finish, I was really pleased with the effort that our guys gave.
Mast is an interesting player to me in that he's a portal player, but he's an example of a portal player. Comes from Bradley and fits right in. In fact, doesn't just fit in. You could say he's the most critical player on the team, and it's not just because he's talented. He is talented, but it's because he's all right. I'm going to say it. He's a glue guy. I mean,
well,
he is.
Think about the importance of Derek Walker last year,
right?
Because Derek Walker was a great passer.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Walker could finish. He was a good scorer, but he was a great facilitator, and that's exactly what Mast is. There's one play last night where Mast was the top of the key and sees a cutting Jamarcus Lawrence, and he just fires a missile. Perfect. Lawrence makes the shot. You're like, that's what you need. That's a big guy that has incredible vision.
He really
incredible
does.
Vision.
He really does have. He's a very complete basketball player. Now he's not a high flyer.
Don't have to be.
And nor was Walker. I mean, Walker seldom dunked.
No, Derek didn't dunk hardly. You're right. Hardly ever. Below the rim player.
Right. Yeah. He was and Mast is a below the rim player, but he's very effective. And he's, like I said, he's just an essential player, even if he's 3 for 10 like last night, even if, he's not just a horse on the board. He had 3 rebounds. His presence is so important to the team. And you get that when he's in the post-game interviews. He's very mature. He's a man. I mean, he's not a kid. When you cover college athletics, it's striking to me because sometimes you deal with kids and they're very evidently kids.
Yep.
And then sometimes you deal with men and they're very evidently grown men. Yeah. And Rink is that. I'd say Bryce Williams is that.
15 points, by the way, for Bryce Williams. It's always a quiet 15. No, that's
he's kind of quiet.
Bryce is not a flashy guy. He just gets the job done, and I love that about him.
Yeah,
the Charlotte transfer.
Yeah, and you mentioned Wilcher. Wilcher was huge in the first half.
Yep. Here's Fred Hoiberg on, and he was great against South Carolina State as well. I think in 18 points, and also against North Dakota as well. Here is Hoiberg, Fred Hoiberg on C.J. Wilcher post game.
Yeah, C.J.'s been unbelievable for us, and you look back at that North Dakota game, we were in trouble, and C.J. was the one guy that was making shots for us in that first half that kept us really in striking distance. And you see him go out there tonight without CJ. We don't have a whatever it was 9 or 10 point lead at halftime. He's one of those guys right now that's shooting the ball with a lot of confidence. And it was good to see him get it going again tonight. And I hated it that he got the back spasms because he was on his way to a really good overall game. But I just love the way CJ's playing right now. I like the confidence that he's playing with. He got the floor over there in the right corner on the other end of the in front of Indiana's bench. But he's doing a lot of things for us right now.
I would think that you of most people, Sip, are the happiest because you have said many times, despite his struggles the last couple of years, that you love the way he shoots the ball.
He's got a beautiful release.
And now he's making them 3 of 6 last night. 11 points off the bench, and they were big points.
C.J. Wilcher has a beautiful release. He's right-handed, by the way, not left-handed.
Thanks for fixing that. Right? He's not Michael Redd out there.
No, but he's got a pretty shot. I mean, it was always sort of confounding to me when he'd struggle because it looks so beautiful. He's got it, he's just some guys that looks good coming out of their hand, and it really looks good coming out of his hand. And I'm not, here's the thing. Nebraska, by the way, we didn't mention 12-2 and 2-1 now in the Big Ten.
And pause there. Best start since 1991-92 for Nebraska men's basketball.
Going back to Danny.
Yes.
Going back to Danny's, heyday, right?
I was one, or I was born in 91. That's back. I'm 32 years old. That's how long ago that was.
32 going on 14 with that garb you have.
Trying to stay young.
I like it. I actually, just for the record, I do like that. I like that top. I do. It's interesting.
Thank you.
Indiana, meanwhile, 10-4 and 2-1, and they actually didn't shoot bad. They're not a good shooting team, but they were 9 for 18 from three range. Not bad. Now there was a free throw disparity, which you'd expect on the road. Nebraska shot 26 free throws, made 20. Indiana shot 19, made 13. So there's part of the scoring disparity. But, and Nebraska was favored to win this game, and Nebraska basically took care of business. Anytime, though, Indiana comes to town, remember, this is blue blood. This is a blue blood. I mean, it's
absolutely
right. It's not a small win. It's not a small win. Anytime you beat Indiana, and I know Indiana's had some down years, but you go back, I mean, remember, and this is a program that lost one game over a 2-season span when the general was a coach in the mid-70s.
R.I.P. Bob Knight.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
mid-70s, Jake. Mid-70s. They had a 1-loss season and an undefeated season back to back. I mean, this is it goes back to Coach McCracken before Bobby. I mean, this is a true, thank you, Missing Tooth Greg, for the info earlier. But this is a true blue blood, and they're not hitting on all cylinders right now. They're not a very good shooting team is what it comes down to.
Well, I mean, think about who they lost. Trace Jackson Davis, who's been a Nebraska killer over the last couple of years. By the way, this is the first time Nebraska has beaten Indiana since the 17-18 season.
Good God, I didn't know
They play them
that.
every year. They had not beat him since 2017-18. It was a 5-game skid, I believe.
Yeah, and they got out of here maybe last year. Indiana, I don't know how they got out of here with a win. Or maybe it was 2 years ago. But anyway, Woodson just doesn't have. I mean, I like Galloway. I don't know much about Renault.
Okay, Renew is the
Renew
big
Auto.
guy. So yeah, thank you, David from Renew Your Auto. Malik Renew was the guy I said that made 2 threes out of nowhere. Big guy, but it was Ware. Ware was the guy inside that was getting the dunks. Him and Renew and Ware. Those are
their
two
guys.
If I'm Indiana, now I'm not a basketball coach. I watch basketball though, and I think Mike Woodson is a good basketball coach. Those guys need to touch the ball every possession.
Well, they run their offense through them.
They need
And Woodson's, if you're being critical in his defense, that's what they do.
I know, but I'm telling you that the ease that they had the back-to-back alley-oops dunks to Ware, I mean, it looked like it was simple.
Really?
Like he was like, if I appear adolescent in this shirt, I was like an 8th grader out there with getting dunked over.
I was kidding, by the way.
And there's one time out of an out of bounds pass, they just threw it up, alley-oop, dunk.
Yeah, they had trouble with the out
I
of
think
bounds.
they had 4 or 5 oops last night,
Right.
which again they lost by 16. So congrats.
And I don't know how to pronounce it. McBacko, Mackenzie McBacko is he's a 5-star player. He's a freshman, and he's Jake. He's sort of an example of how hard it is for a lot of freshmen to break in this conference because you're playing against grown men. You have grown men. Juwan Gary, right? Grown man. Rink, grown man. Bryce Williams, grown man. Those guys are Wilcher's a grown man. I mean, it's hard. It's hard for a true freshman. It really is.
There's a stat that we never really look at this stat. It's kind of a forgotten part of the box score. But this you go back to what you said about Rink Mass and the importance he is for the team. You go to the far right. The plus minus, when these guys are on the court, Nebraska was plus 17 with Rink Mass on the court. That's how important he is. He plays good defense. He again, only had 3 rebounds last night, but just the way he operates, he is a veteran. He like you said, he's a grown man, like you said.
Mm-hmm. He's smart.
But the team just appears right with him. And as Hoiberg said about Wilcher, Wilcher again keeps him in the game against North Dakota. They win that game. So Rink Mass gets the scope on his knee the day after Kansas State.
December 18th is the date.
And after that, they play North Dakota. They play South Carolina State. He comes back. He misses 2 games. Mm-hmm. He missed 2 games.
It doesn't practice.
He said he had a day and a half of practice.
And
that's what he said.
And comes back and plays 30 minutes. You know what that is? That's a veteran. That's a veteran. A veteran can do that. Here's what I'd say about Mass. How often, and it's not like I've seen every game, but I've seen enough. How often do you see Mast make a play where you're just like, what is he doing?
No.
Would you say
ever.
never?
Never.
Yeah. Almost never.
He took maybe one shot, said, it was iffy. But not like, oh my God, that was bad. It was like one iffy shot.
Shots and decisions with the ball. He
That's
doesn't
it.
make bad decisions. I mean, he's solid. Very solid. Great addition.
One guy that I've maybe been critical of that played pretty well with effort in the second half was Josiah Alec. Now, Josiah Alec does not score very well. He had 2 points. He was 2 of 5 at the free throw line, but he had 8 rebounds. And people are pointing out, please mention Josiah Alec. For all of the faults he has offensively in terms of scoring, the effort he provides, the spark he provides when he's on the court with just going after every rebound. It's kind of like a Joakim Noah type of look to him.
Yeah, I think he likes.
He likes to rebound. He likes to go be physical.
8
not
rebounds.
a scorer. He's not a scorer.
8 rebounds is a big contribution.
And he was, I believe, at one point 0 of 3 on free throws. There's a flagrant foul call. He went for he got the board, went up for it, and got yanked down by the neck by I forget who that was for Indiana. But then he was by himself at the line shooting 2 free throws, and he made them both, and he did like a pump up the crowd, like, I did it.
Yeah.
I could do this. I can make shots. I can contribute offensively.
No, good for
I thought
him.
that was kind of funny.
Good for him. Yeah, he got his nose taken off, according to Muehlheisen, on that play. They call it flagrant 1, right?
Flagrant 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that was big. And actually, in fact, that was a big moment. No, I mean, Nebraska did a good job.
That was a big moment. You're right.
Yeah, it was. Nebraska did a good job. And then Casey got fouled shooting a 3-pointer and then hit three free throws later.
Sam Hoiberg also got fouled. It made 3 free throws on him.
And it was over at that point. I mean, I just thought it was over because, and again, Indiana's Indiana. They're not great right now, and they don't shoot the ball that well. I just thought it was going to be really hard for them to overcome a 15-point deficit with 10 minutes to go. I mean, I just didn't think it could happen. Casey was shooting the ball too well. Casey finished with 28. So one of his better games, 9 for 15 from the field. All those misses were from 3-point land. So he made all his 2-point shots, his conventional field goals. Just a good win. I mean, now we'll see what happens. This is a team that's pretty good. I mean, I think we're going to have a fun winner. Well, I hope so.
And this goes back to last year, and you don't have the exact same team as last year, but this stat might blow your mind this morning. Over the last 21 games, Nebraska, dating back to last year, Nebraska basketball is 17-4.
Good God.
Yeah. How about that for stat this morning? The last 21 games, Nebraska is 17-4. 2 of those losses are to bad Minnesota teams. Think about that. They lose to the Minnesota in the Big Ten tournament. First game, loses them on the road. So you've got to. They're 17-4, and 2 of those are the Gophers.
That is an amazing stat.
17-4.
It's you don't probably think about it as much because of those Minnesota losses. Because last year the season-ending Minnesota loss.
Yes, the one that ended any NIT chances.
Right, was a horrible.
It's a horrible loss,
and this one was horrible. So that's why you probably don't think about it. But man, 17-4.
The last
17-4
games.
Yeah.
Think about that.
No, that's extraordinary. It's hard for me to be critical. I've been very critical of Fred. But
and
it's hard for me.
Deservedly so, by the way. His record deservedly deserves criticism.
But man, I mean, 17-4. I mean, there's nothing you can say except that's exemplary.
Yes.
Exemplary.
Yep.
And they look like they have a team, emphasis on team. That it is a good team. Like there's a team that can do some damage. I don't know what kind of damage because I haven't assessed the Big Ten. I mean, listen, I cover football, and I don't know. The Big Ten's down. There's no doubt about that. It is
definitely down. It appears to me that Nebraska, when they play basketball, is either 4th in the conference or 13th to 14th
over the course of time.
This seems like a year they might end up being fourth again. And that's because they're a good team.
They're good.
And the conference is just not as good as it has been. Mm-hmm. So barring injuries, this is going to be a solid team in the conference. Now they play at Wisconsin at 1:15 this Saturday, a ranked Wisconsin team.
Yeah, it'll be tough. It'll be tough.
And then they come back and play Purdue, number 1 ranked Purdue on Tuesday at PBA. And by the way, we asked the question, how was the crowd going to look? The crowd was packed. I was not there. They showed the arena. It was loud and it was packed.
It sounded like
on it for an 8 p.m. Wednesday night game.
It sounded like it. I mean, Kent Pavelka and Jake Muehlheisen commented on that a few times that it was an excellent scene, that the atmosphere was excellent. So that was good. They're very critical of. I learned an official's name last night listening to the broadcast.
Yeah,
because they mentioned Terry Oglesby
in the first half. And I love Kent Pavelka. He gets so excited. Oglesby ran by, was like running by the booth, and he yelled at him on the. He goes, "Bad call, bad call!" Right? And Jake's like, "Well, that was actually the other guy that called out." That time,
Terry Oglesby drew the ire of Jake Muehlheisen throughout the second half.
The first half was the same.
Yeah,
I love it. I really enjoyed that call by those guys.
Curiously, I was curious about this. Muehlheisen was critical of the Indiana coaching staff's suits.
Really?
I think that's a great look.
I thought Woodson looks just good.
Yeah,
with that suit.
Yeah, I was surprised that Jake went there. I was like, wait a second. I think that's a great look. I think more coaches should wear suits. I am not big on the sweatpants look.
Sometimes in our group chat with you, me, and Bill,
Yeah.
Three-Legged, so you guys do screenshots of football coaches back in the day that were dressed in suits or had cool hats on.
Yeah, like
what's wrong with that?
Tom Landry,
right?
Hank Strand,
dressed well.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm fine with the suit.
I think Woodson looks great.
He looked great in the suit. Yeah. Absolutely, I thought the same thing. Man, he looks good.
I'd love to see Fred come out in a suit. That'd be incredible. Think how good Fred would look in a suit.
A red tie.
Yeah.
Be impressive.
Fred's a handsome devil.
Yeah, he could pull it off just fine.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
he pulls off sweatshirt just fine too.
Yeah.
But I can't put.
I was just surprised that Jake was critical of them. Wait a second. That's a good look.
Those guys are fun to listen to, though. I enjoy Kent.
That was fun.
That
was fun.
Very energetic call.
It was fun. It was fun to listen to driving back.
It was just an enjoyable game to listen to or watch. It was great. Nebraska won by 16. Again, final score 86-70. Nebraska beats Indiana, now 12-2, the best start since 1991-92, the Danny Nee era. I have to correct one thing. I said it was a 5-game skid. They had lost 7 straight games to Indiana prior to last night.
Thank you.
7 straight before last night.
Yeah, we both got to do better on our facts.
And again, Nebraska, Wisconsin, 1:15 p.m. this weekend. I will be watching.
Oh yeah,
you should be too. I hope Nebraska fans, buy into this team. This team is playing good basketball.
Yeah, I might.
It's a team.
Maybe I'll write my Sunday column about it. I might.
And one person wants me to point out that this is Nebraska had 15 steals last night.
15
steals.
Wait a second. Really?
Indiana had 5 steals. Nebraska had 15 steals.
Jamarcus Lawrence had 4. Bryce Williams had 4. They led the brigade. Indiana did have a big obtuse turnover number. Indiana had 19 turnovers.
Nebraska just had 8.
And Nebraska, like you said, played a complete game. Now, they did get out rebounded. I don't know what the dynamic is there.
They had a 7'2" guy
and a 6'10" guy.
That would hurt.
Okay. So, I mean, but again, I'm with you. It was a complete game. The rebounding obviously didn't affect things too much. In fact, if you look at the stat sheet, Indiana 10 second chance points, Nebraska 11. So Indiana 26 points in the paint, Nebraska 24. So no problems there.
Husker Hoops 12-2. Get on board. Get with these guys. Go to the games. Support them.
Wear an
adolescent retro jacket like I do. I'm supportive. These are my guys. These are my dudes. Wisconsin, ranked Wisconsin, 115 on Saturday at the Kohl Center.
115, huh?
I look forward to seeing how packed this place is on Tuesday night against Purdue. 8 p.m. tip next week.
We beat Wisconsin. Well, come on.
I'll be there.
It's going to be packed.
I'll be at the arena.
All right.
Against number 1 Purdue.
Okay.
Let's talk a little Michigan when we come back. An early break in the ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
This. Anybody who knows me knows I was cocky out of the womb.
Is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I really enjoy the text line. You know, we've gone through so much pain as Nebraska fans in the men's sports. Football, of course, has not made a bowl game since 2016. Basketball has been downright atrocious. Yeah. Besides the last 21 games, which they're, again, 17-4 in their last 21 games.
Thank you for that stat.
They have not been, besides last year, they have not even been close to any postseason or anything out of the basement of the Big Ten. So it's just nice. People are happy.
I know.
They're
it is
texting
nice.
and saying, this is fun. It is
fun.
Nice.
It's nice.
Thank you, Fred.
Yeah, it's nice.
And squad.
And it's nice to know, and trust me on this one. Trust me. Oh, the people are going to get mad when I say this. But they'll go to Wisconsin, and that's going to be a close game. I mean, they're not, and it's nice.
I would be surprised if they got beat badly.
Right. It's nice that you have that. I think it's good for us as a collective fan base to have this something to look forward to on Saturday. You know, 1:15 game. You can kind of, I'm not saying you have to build your day around it.
I might tailgate for it at the house.
I might build my day around it, and that I might write from it. I might write about it. And it's something to look forward to. And they will play Wisconsin close. They will probably go down to the final minutes, and we'll see what happens.
This is we'll move on, but Chase B says it's just fun to not be a dumpster fire.
It kind of is. They're good. I mean, I think we all can. We with Nebraska basketball right now, We know they're good. It's just a question of how far can they take this? You know, I mean, are they 11? Are they 11-win Big Ten team, 11-9, 12-8? Is that the range? I mean, that seems like the range to me.
They seem like, if I'm barring injuries, they are a double-digit win team in the conference. They're 2-1 already. So 2 tough games upcoming. We'll see how they do against them.
Hard transition.
All right,
Jay.
let's go to the national championship in college football. Is Monday, a couple days away. Michigan against Washington. Wolverines still about a 4-point favorite in this game. And there was a little press conference yesterday. J.J. McCarthy and some Wolverines met with the media. And somehow Ohio State got worked into the conversation. Sip.
I know.
This is from USA Today.
Oh, we're reading the same article by your friend.
This is I'll read the lead and I'll read the quote. It says, when answering a question about Michigan's sign-stealing scandal on Wednesday's college football playoff teleconference, Michigan quarterback J.J. McCarthy said most college football programs legally steal signs, including Ohio State in 2019 and 2020. Here's the quote from J.J. He says, quote, I also feel like it's so unfortunate because there's probably, I don't want to say a crazy number, but I'd say a good number, 80% of the teams in college football steal signs. It's just a thing about football. It's been around for years. He says, he goes on to say, quote, we actually had to adapt because in 2020 or 2019, when Ohio State was stealing our signs, which is legal and they were doing it, we had to get up to the level they were at and we had to make it an even playing field. J.J. McCarthy.
Remember the context. In 2019, Ohio State beat Michigan 56-27, 56-27.
Blew them out.
Okay. Now, that's Ohio State's most recent victory against Michigan.
That's right.
Hello. So Michigan started doing something different.
They had to up the ante here, so to speak.
Now, here's what's fascinating about this, and we'll go on with the comments. Now, he is now talking openly about a scandal that gripped college football. I got it.
Openly.
Right.
Right.
I have to think it was signed off on by the athletic department, Jim Harbaugh. If you're asked about it, go ahead. Just go ahead and talk about it.
I mean,
they must not have had the 1 second.
Sorry.
They obviously didn't have the conversation with him that went like this. If you're asked about the scandal, just say no comment. I think they must have had the conversation with him. If you're asked about it, just say this and go ahead. Oh, it's another example of this scandal just went poof into the wind. Poof. It went poof. It's amazing that now J.J. McCarthy and another of his teammates is on a teleconference talking openly about a scandal that gripped our country.
Connor Stallion.
I know. I mean,
how many times have we mentioned Connor Stallions? Every day something new popped up.
Right.
Vacuums.
And we
Blake
were
Corum.
Right.
Vacuum sales.
And we were totally taken aback by it. And people were angry. There were people angry. I spoke in Omaha one night, and I was not being hard enough on the Michigan coach, and a guy called me out in the crowd. It angered people. And I will tell you this, it feels like it's over. They have players openly discussing it now.
And there's more, because I got an ESPN article that has another quote that probably is not in the USA Today one. Sip. This is
yes.
McCarthy is still addressing this.
Yes.
He says, quote, we did things the right way as players. It would be very unfortunate to not get recognized for all the hard work that we put in and everything we accomplished over this last year. But at the end of the day, it's not going to change the amount of accomplishment and the amount of pride for being on this football team and just everything that we accomplished because we know what we put in. We know the work that we put in. We know we did things the right way as players. Whatever happened with all the outside controversies, it's out of our control. And whatever the NCAA wants to do is out of our control, but we're going to appreciate the things we did control and accomplish. End quote. J.J. McCarthy. Again, not walking away from this at all. Embracing it.
No, not walking away at all. Discussing it openly. And I got to think that they were given permission to do so. Because why? They don't care. They don't care. Jim, it's sort of miraculous what's happened. Connor Stallions was at the Rose Bowl, bald, without his beard, but he was there. I mean,
smirking at the camera.
It just seems like Jim's. This stuff is serious, though. I mean, in that USA Today article was a fact that I didn't know. Now, maybe you knew this. I didn't know this. That I knew their linebackers coach, Chris Partridge, Michigan's linebackers coach, was fired in November. I didn't know why, but here's why. Here's why he was fired. Chris Partridge, for telling players not to speak to investigators. Yes, that's fireable. I mean, they've done things in that program that aren't good. I mean, Jimba allegedly lied to NCAA investigators. They had a coach tell the players, don't talk to the investigators. Jim lied allegedly to the NCAA investigators. We never even mentioned, we hardly even ever bring up that the FBI is investigating a computer crime scandal, because that got lost in the Connor Stallions scandal.
Shoved away.
Something
else incredible popped up.
Right. There's been 3 major situations that cropped up. And meanwhile, Michigan just keeps steamrolling to the national title game. And nobody is bringing this topic up, except now the players are talking about it openly, which is just fascinating to me.
What's also great is that the question leading into this was not addressed in USA Today or ESPN, but CBS Sports says, and the quotes that we read from McCarthy, the leading question was, this is what he was asked what Harbaugh is telling the players.
Okay.
So basically, they're going off of what Harbaugh is telling them.
Right.
When saying, 80% of college football cheats. In Ohio State, I mean, come on.
Right. That's what's happening.
It feels like a cult in Michigan.
A little
right
bit.
now.
I mean, a little bit. I mean, Jim, the leader of the program, is spinning it. He probably has some valid points. Does Jim Harbaugh seem bothered by these situations at all?
Just oblivious. I think intentionally oblivious. Saying, I'm going to keep coaching football. Just turn a blind eye to everything.
Now, you could, the reason I'm just going to keep harping on this point, these players have a teleconference. They're asked about it. They're obviously given permission to talk about it. In a lot of these cases, it would just be, a media relations person telling the players. Now, if you're asked about the Connor Stallions matter or the sign stealing matter, whatever, just defer to the head coach and say, we'll let the head coach talk about that. They didn't do that.
Nope. Now we'll talk. What do you want to talk about?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Listen.
Right.
It's not going to affect us. We're playing ball. We're the title game, baby. Say what you want. We're the title game.
Michigan is amazing.
The way they responded. Now, in the spirit of Dolphins Bills this Sunday.
Okay, I'd like to hear
I
this.
have a visual here.
I like this.
There is a back in the 90s, epic battles, Dolphins Bills. They hate each other. Brian Cox, former Dolphins linebacker, was always seen a couple times going to Buffalo, just double birding the fans on the way in, on the way out. That's Michigan. They're just double birding everyone. They're double birding me, you, Spill, everybody.
Analogy's
Boom.
good. It's a good analogy.
Brian Cox against the Bills.
Yeah, they are. They're double.
We don't care. We don't care.
And it does illustrate also the power of winning. When you're winning at that level, at Michigan's level, you can do that. I mean, their fans. Do you think their fans are bothered? Did you?
No, the fans
are
embracing this.
Did you happen to see Michigan, Ohio State in Ann Arbor? The fans were a little jacked. Did they seem like they were ambivalent, or do you think that they had mixed emotions about beating Ohio State?
They said 12-0, baby. Right. On to the Big Ten title game.
I watched that game, and I can tell you right now there were no mixed emotions in Ann Arbor. Okay, there were no mixed emotions.
No, usually aren't there.
No.
When we come back, Rick Heyman, Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day on Early Break on the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at MidwestBank.com. Member FDIC.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Move over, Jake.
I'm moving. Jeez.
Thursdays are reserved for a man with a wider range of music knowledge than Jake could ever dream of.
This is the golden era.
you would hear this on any radio station. You know, it wasn't like it is now.
Okay.
You know, you got country, you got R&B, you got pop, you got rap, you got rock. They didn't have that then. You heard everything.
A man who knows a good song when he hears it, just as much as a good diamond when he sees it.
You get a diamond!
Yes, I do get a diamond. I get a diamond, and that makes me happy.
It's time for Rick Heyman's Song of the Day, sponsored by Sartor Heyman Jewelers, on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket.
Once again, your song of the day. It's hard to stop that one. Love Train by the OJs from 1973. 464-56851 is bad. 10 is good. Text your rating, and Rick Heyman, Sartor Heyman Jewelers, Song of the Day.
It's one of the best songs ever written.
So good.
Yeah, it's one of the best songs that's ever made it to the airwaves. I mean, it's top 100 all time. Okay, so you know
who could push back on that?
It's a gorgeous song. I don't even know what to say. I mean, when we, in all seriousness, Jake, we always talk about the 70s and how glorious the music was. That's what we mean right there.
Right there.
I mean, that song's not, and a lot of people forget about that song until they hear it again. And then they're like, oh my God. And there's a lot of examples of songs like that in the 70s. So I don't think we're being unfair. You just don't hear that anymore. 9.77796.
I thought I was going to go ahead of you, above you. I'm really close. You're 9.7 plus. I'm going to go 9.6, which is very high for me.
That is very high for you.
So 9.7 plus 9.6. Bella, you got to score 8. Never heard that song. She's never heard it. Now she provided a Sister Golden Hair
Yes, she
from
did.
1975 yesterday.
Oh, Bella.
But she's never heard of this song from 1973, which is on commercials. It's been on commercials before. I've seen this song on commercials before.
The band?
Love Song by the Love Train by the OJs.
Bella, just YouTube the OJs. And you'll find like 7 or 8 songs that you'll be like, oh my God.
Yep. So high scores today. We are now joined by Rick Heyman, Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Rick, good morning. What a jam today you provided for us.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't hear Bella's score.
She gave it an 8 flat. She'd never heard the song before, but she liked it.
If you were in here, Rick, I'd give you a bear hug. I'd just hug you. I would hug you.
Oh, that's great. Hey, we know all is well in Huskerville when we spend a quarter of a segment talking about Fred wearing a suit.
What a handsome devil he would be in a suit, right?
Handsome devil. I don't know. I need to talk to Trixie. I get a little man crush going on.
I don't have
over
a
there.
man crush.
Whoa. Shots fired over here. Look at that.
Man crush.
Boom.
Anyway, yeah. Oh, man, I'll tell you what, the OJs. What are you going to say? Incidentally, if you guys haven't ever seen it, go to YouTube and pull up the Daryl's House episode with the OJs. And it will blow your mind. They play this song, by the way. And it's just outstanding. I've probably watched that 20 times. They're so good. So, okay. The OJs, what are you going to say? They were a quintet originally, started in the 60s. They're from Ohio, believe it or not, but then they moved to Philly. Now, this was the Philly sound back then.
Okay.
It wasn't Motown, it was a Philly sound.
Oh.
And that's where Hall & Oates came out of, the Blue-Eyed Soul thing. But a lot of very famous soul and R&B bands, musicians, singers came out of Philadelphia back then. And that's where Gamble and Huff were. They were the songwriters, producers that really versus Motown. So it was sort of Philly versus Motown back in those days. This record became their very first #1 single. This album, and this single was #1. But they've been going a long time. In fact, 2 guys had left by this time. They started in the '60s. So, these guys were no young pups at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, they did For the Love of Money. They did I Love Music. They play both of those on the Daryl's House rendition. They continued really through the 80s. Used to Be My Girl. That was in '78.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been around a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Backstabbers. How about that?
Backstabbers.
Oh,
that was the record.
God.
And this was the first, but this was their first huge breakthrough hit. And a lot of people credit this song as the creation of disco.
Whoa.
Oh.
How about that, Fred? Something.
Yeah. And of course, back in those days, the word disco was like saying Oklahoma or Texas around, Everybody hated it. It was rock and roll versus disco everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And we were one of the first bands in my band back in the days that played both. And boy, we got some static for that occasionally. Because it was rock and roll versus disco. In early '74, the Supremes recorded this song. Hall & Oates actually played it as well in '89. And then it mentions OJ's in a live version on Live from Daryl's House. The Rolling Stones played this song on their worldwide Licks tour 2002 and 2003. So, famous song, incredible song. Like you said, you forget about it. I've got this list of the top 100 from '73, and there's some amazing songs on here we're going to get to.
Can't wait.
You're doing a great job.
These just amazing songs that you forget. I mean, I remember driving around on my parents. We had an acreage out in the middle of nowhere back then, 70th and Pioneer.
Mm-hmm.
I remember driving around doing chores in my pickup truck out in the field, and this song would come on.
And it would
and I
freak
remember
you out.
singing along with it. So, with that in mind, let's jump to the Stump the Sippers. No coach today. We wish him well. I would have loved to hear his rating
back tomorrow. He'd give like a 9.6 also.
I think he would have been pretty high.
Oh, yes, he would have.
9.6.
Yeah, he would have been high.
Okay, first question. On the top 100 at the end of 1973, was this song higher or lower than number 39? So 39, 38 to 1.
Yeah, I got you.
Or 40 down to 100.
I don't know why you're asking me that, except it must have been lower. Lower.
You mean worse than 39?
Yeah, worse than 39.
You get a CZ, it was number 37.
You should have gone with your gut on that one.
Yeah.
0 for 1.
Okay.
What's their first name, the Canton Kids, the Mascots, or the Drifters?
Ooh, it wasn't the Drifters. So I'm going to go Canton Kids.
2 CZs, it was the Mascots.
Okay.
0 for 2.
Ouch.
One more question for Sip.
And then I have a question for you.
After this.
Yes, and then we have a general question. Okay. What famous TV show with a very famous person that was the host featured For the Love of Money at the beginning of the show?
What famous TV show with a very famous host?
One of the most famous hosts in the world.
Arsenio Hall.
The show. The name of the show. The Arsenio Hall show?
Yeah, the Arsenio Hall show. Is that right?
I'm just going to give you the horn.
It was The Apprentice. Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah, Francis. Donald Trump. Oh, you had to work that in there, didn't you?
I had to work it in. Yep.
For the love of money.
What was your Rick is
That was
free
good.
band this morning.
Sounds like you were in a band at one point.
Yes.
I got it going, man. I spilled my coffee everywhere, and we're just having all kinds of fun this
What
morning.
was your question?
And one last general question
All right.
to anybody, including Bella. Are the OJs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Yes or no?
100. 100. Yes.
That they're in?
Yes.
You get a diamond,
Yes.
2005.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
They got to be.
You got one right, Sip. 1 for 4 today. Liberace, kind of.
Yeah, sort of.
I still, you
With
know
a
what?
suit.
You know what? Rick, this wasn't my question, but I almost say Backstabbers is as good as Love Train.
It's great.
Yeah, Backstabbers is a strangely good song. Like, strangely good. Kind of sort of.
So is For the Love of Money.
Yeah, those come in third behind the top two. I would go back and forth on Love Train, and Backstabbers. Backstabbers is strange.
Just go pull up the Daryl's House version, and they play all those songs with Daryl's band, who, by the way, are incredible. They were in Omaha last summer. We went and saw them.
Does anything distinguish the Philly sound to which you referred from the Detroit sound?
It's a little more. It's not as R&B-ish. It's a little more mix of rock, I think, in with it.
Okay.
But you'd have to sit down and listen to a lot of them side by side. But that's where it came from. I mean, it was all at the same time as Motown, which was really in the late 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
But just an amazing time for music. My God.
Great song today again. It was Love Train by the OJs from 1973. Rick, before I let you go, what's going on right now to start off the new year at Sauter-Heyman Jewelers?
It's a new year. It's a new day. We're 1 block away with the outlet store at 12th and O. It's open now, up to 70% off. You want to save some money on beautiful brand new jewelry? I'm telling you, you got to come in. Check out the outlet. We're also our traditional store, which is loaded with beautiful brand new merchandise at South Point and in Grand Island. We had a lot of breakers come in recently. Thank you, all breakers. Mention the show, get 10% off. It happens all the time. I'll get a text from somebody at South Point or elsewhere. We do give you the 10% off. We had a gentleman in the other day. He bought a beautiful bracelet. He got 10% off because he mentioned the show.
Boom.
So SauterHeyman.com. Listen, I saw this sign the other day and I thought it's perfect. Quality is remembered long after the price is forgotten, particularly true in jewelry. You don't want to cheap it out, man. You want the best because this stuff, you got to take care of jewelry. It's an heirloom. We're going to take care of you all the way. Customer service, bar none. SauterHeyman.com. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. I'll post more interesting things about the wonderful OJs on my personal Facebook at Rick Heyman.
Rick, always good stuff. Thanks for the time. We'll chat with you again next week.
Bye-bye.
That's Rick Heyman's song of the day again. Love Train by the OJs. Sauter-Heyman Jewelers. What a great song.
Gosh.
Rick was on fire today.
Well, he's in a good situation with us because he's playing 70s.
And I like the 70s.
Yeah.
Bill, you and Bill love the 70s. I love the 70s.
Yeah.
We're all happy.
It's just now every Thursday, this is something to look forward to. And today was an extraordinary example.
We also look forward to the 7 o'clock hour because Mike Schaefer's here in studio next. An early break on the ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Why are New Year's resolutions always about getting to the gym more or dieting? We fail ourselves before the first month of the year is already over. Why not resolve to eat better, tastier foods in 2024? Look no further than Fuhrer's cheese spread. Stop eating your apples, vegetables, crackers, and chips plain. Give them some flavor. Fuhrer's cheese spread awakens your taste buds. Now that's how you start a new year. Find your container of Fuhrer's cheese spread today at your local grocery store.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Bagels & Joe is celebrating 31 years of business this year. With 4 Lincoln locations and 1 in Seward, there's more options for your favorite breakfast spot in town. And don't forget the Joe card for unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per person per month. Bagels & Joe, celebrating 31 years of serving Lincoln and the surrounding areas.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wake up, Lincoln.
I overslept. Damn rooster didn't crow.
It's time for Early Break, sponsored by Midwest Bank. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
I'm wrong, but I'm not.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
If I were a feral cat.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Busch.
You get one team. Mine's the Houston Oilers. I'm not the Texans, and I'm not the Titans, so I'm out.
This is Early Break.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Thursday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen today. Bill Busch out. He was in Kearney last night doing a speech. He'll be back again tomorrow. Check out his website at CoachBillBusch.com. You want to book him for a speech?
Say that again.
CoachBillBusch.com.
Coach Bill Busch.
He has his own website. I didn't know.
I just went to it right now. CoachBillBusch.com. I confirmed that.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I've told him before, it's very odd. When in my phone, I have him. I find this odd when it pops up, even though it's in my phone. I have him as Coach Busch.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know.
He's still coaching.
Should I have it as Bill Busch?
I have it as Bill Busch in mine, but
I'm checking.
Coach is fine.
Yeah, Bill Busch.
I'm okay.
Actually, I want to see how many people I have in there as coach because I don't think it's many.
Are you going to name drop right now? Is that what we're doing?
You guys could both probably do some
actually, I have a lot in
coaches
there.
here.
They're all high school coaches, various ones around the country.
I have found that I could name drop a lot of incredible dead people.
That is impressive.
I was looking through my phone the other day. I'm like, he's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Big one, dead.
Big one, dead.
Well,
I'm
okay.
I'm of that age.
Sipple's phone, just like walking through a graveyard.
By the way,
whistling through a graveyard, I guess.
Hour 2, sponsored by our friends at Midwest Bank, member FDIC, location in Lincoln at 27, the Jamie Lane new location coming by early March to 70th and Pioneer. Steve Schindler out today because Bill Busch is out today.
I'll give you an example of a big one.
A dead person?
A still in my phone. Beano Cook.
He's been gone for a while.
Yeah, he's been gone for a while. Beano Cook.
Yeah. I remember those segments.
Yeah.
He's gone for a while. So I don't have that many dead people, I think, in my phone.
Well, you guys are younger guys.
I've got some. For some reason, I have.
This is a strange
Jake doesn't want to be left out. He doesn't want you to assume that the only people in his phone are living. He wants you to know he's got at least one that's 6 feet under and another that's entirely unaccounted for.
I do have some unaccounted for too.
That's how people feel about your number too.
I'm largely unaccounted for.
By the way, Mike
Mike
Schaefer with us from 24/7 Sports joins us every Thursday on the show for years. He's a vital guest for ours on the show.
Vital?
Yeah, you're vital. Vital to the operation here.
Vital today. Now, Jake, which direction do we want to go?
Well, I think we get to the game first and then recruiting.
Which direction do our listeners want us to take this? To the football angle with Dylan Raiola there?
We'll do that. Then we'll get to the game after that. So,
the big horse was there last night.
Dylan Raiola was at the basketball game.
Right.
Nebraska beats Indiana 86-70. Dylan Raiola was sitting with Trev Alberts at this basketball game, which is people thought was interesting in general.
He was on a recruiting mission, though, right, Mike? Basically.
I'm not entirely sure what he was. I assume he's basically just here and is going to be here in Lincoln for the rest of the duration, even though other players aren't arriving until the 13th, I think is what I've heard.
Right.
A similar refrain. So he might just be here, and obviously his uncle is here, and because he was with Dom last night, and so.
Well, Dom. I mean, full disclosure. I'm not going to act like I don't talk. Dom said he's here recruiting, and Isaiah Nair.
Yeah, I couldn't come up with a first name. I was like, there's a Jalen Naylor, and then there's like a bunch of similar sounding players, and so it was all lost in there. But yeah, wide receiver was at Wyoming. Yes. Before he went to Texas, had one catch for 14 yards last year, but did have a big year in 2021. Is a guy that, Nebraska looking to add to their wide receiver room with some people that have production. He would certainly have more than what they have returning. And then he's the first of 2 wide receivers expected this weekend, with Jamal Banks being the other from Wake Forest. So, it would be a nice sort of depth pickup, but I don't know that it's something that you can have a ton of expectation for.
No, I don't know. I mean, it kind of depends on how he comes off a knee injury,
right? And then it's and it's almost a little Isaiah Garcia Castaneda-ish in a way. I mean, you had a good performance at a lower level. What happens now when you move up? Are you healthy? Can you beat out these other wide receivers? That's the other thing. Like, whatever he might be, is he going to be better than some of those guys? Like even a Demetrius Bell, who we've never seen before. Like
what he might be though is 6'3" and 215 pounds.
Right. Yeah. Gives you some size on the outside.
Right.
To go alongside Malachi Coleman there.
Sarkisian. Now he, like you said, he had big year in 2021 at Wyoming, 44 catches, 878 yards, 12 touchdowns. That's good. I mean, that's production.
Yeah.
44 catches, 878 yards, 12 touchdowns. Sarkisian, now he went to Texas and he injured his knee and just didn't pan out. Now he was on the road to panning out. He had a big spring at Texas, then hurt his knee in the fall. And Sarkisian said this, and this gets my attention. I know it gets Jake's attention. He's a real weapon on deep balls, and in the red area, he's a big physical guy. Those are the guys that are of critical importance to me because it's so hard to score in the red zone in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
It's so hard to score. I mean, if you get the ball first and goal at the 9, it is hard to score if you don't have guys like that.
Nope.
Well, especially if you're not just able to line it up and move the pile, and that's hard for anybody to do, let alone, Nebraska. So, they've needed to utilize the passing game inside the red zone for years now. I mean, we talked about it towards the end of the Scott Frost tenure, but the inability to get Austin Allen involved.
Oof.
He had
to go there. I could go on for years.
So,
Ethan Carter back in the day.
You have gone on for years about that.
Well, I mean, that's just
you have.
That's the reality of what it's been for Nebraska. And even this year, like they weren't able to really get the ball to Thomas Fidone or to Nate Borkercher or, even Malachi Coleman or the wide receivers really inside the red zone. So any additional help that you can do there, anything that you can give, Dylan or Heinrich or Daniel, DHD there, anything that you can give those guys is going to be well received. I mean, they need depth on top of it, and they need experience too, because you got a lot of young wide receivers.
You're right. I mean, you mentioned Jamal Banks from Wake Forest is also visiting. Is there a scenario you see where they take both of them?
I just don't know how the numbers work out with that. I mean, if you have these other visitors, I mean, you have Dante Dowdle, you have the linebacker from Idaho, 24/7 Sports hasn't confirmed it, but you have Stephon Thompson visiting.
Syracuse.
So the expectation, and then certainly a guy like that, I think, is an easy take if he wants in, given his relationship with Tony White and the familiarity there. I don't know that you can take all of them.
It'd be hard.
I don't understand how they have the numbers to even take 4 or 3 of them. To be perfectly frank. So whatever they can kind of get out of this, I think for me, the most important piece still is probably that running back.
Dowdell?
Yeah. I
agree
to
with
take
you.
nothing away from Jamal Banks, who would be the 1B in this scenario. I just really don't like the picture at running back for Nebraska.
You made that very clear last week, Mike.
I made that clear
you did.
in about every chance I've got.
Yeah, you did.
I don't think I'm getting invited to the running back holiday party next year.
You missed your invite. Yeah.
I don't know that EJ Barthel is going to be excited if I have questions for him.
No, I see where you're going. And I mean, I just like the picture of Dante Dowdell, 6'2", 218, with Gabe Irvin, 6 foot 225, and an attack that does go downhill a lot.
Yeah, well, they need to add something to that room. Like they got nothing from the high school level, so they at least need another body in there.
Yeah.
And then wide receiver I think is really important too, and they definitely would benefit adding a Jamal Banks, I think specifically. But
my answer to that though is if you can get both Banks and the Texas kid, do it. Just take them both. Because I think now we're a little different on this topic. I think that room needs it. I think they need.
I think they need help, but I guess I feel slightly better in some ways, even though they're really inexperienced. I feel at least slightly better about the upside of that room. The running back room, I don't think it's. I think it's a flat line. Like I don't think there's an arrow up.
Ooh.
I don't think it's bad.
Hold on. Can we address that? Irvin was coming.
Yeah, I mean, he's had the best spring imaginable 3 straight years. And
I'm talking about Colorado.
I get it, but I need him on the field before it matters, right?
That's fair.
Like, how many guys have you seen have had promising seasons derailed by the fact that they couldn't stay on the field?
But if they had Dowdell, who was 8th ranked recruit in the country. Running back. 8th ranked running back in the country. Good enough to be recruited by Oregon. In fact, good enough to appear in 6 games at
Mhm.
Oregon, which is like appearing in 6 games at Ohio State.
Yeah.
If you put Dowdell, Irvin, and then you have Ramir Johnson, who's a good, solid college running back with big-time speed.
Yeah.
I'm feeling okay now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling okay.
Like I feel better if you have the Oregon kid. I mean, if you remove that from the equation.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's what I mean,
Dowdell.
though.
He's
Like,
not just a body. Dowdell's
Right.
not just a body.
I agree.
He's capable of starting.
Right. And that's what I mean, though. Without that room is just a flat line for me across.
All right.
Whereas at least the wide receivers, like I'm excited about Jalen Lloyd. I'm excited about Malachi. Coleman. Like they're green.
What
they're
about
really
Jaden
green.
Doss?
I'm excited about Jaden Doss too. It's just I didn't get to see him as much.
I'm most excited about Jaden Doss.
Really?
Yes.
That's
Most
interesting.
excited about Jaden Doss. I
Why-
think
why?
when you see, because he got injured in August, but he was going to be the best one of those 3. Then he got injured in August. We saw it. We were there.
Mhm.
We were there when it happened, and it set him back. I thought Doss was going to be the best of the 3, but I like them all.
Yeah.
I like all
Well,
3.
and then Bell, they really like Bell a lot.
Right.
I mean, we heard about him with the scout team, throughout the season. And then they talked about him kind of at the end. And so I like kind of the upside of those guys, but yeah, they definitely need a veteran.
I like upside. I hate the word in a way because it's always, okay, well, that means it's going to be in the future. Banks has 107 catches. Banks, the kid from Wake Forest.
Yeah.
Banks has 600 yards in each of the last 2 seasons. He's proven.
Yep.
He's coming in and playing.
Yeah.
And he's 6'4".
Yeah.
6'4".
Another red zone guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that I don't, but like if you could only pick one,
yeah,
I'm going with if you could only pick one of the 5, I would go with Dante Dowdell.
Oh.
And if you can have multiple, then it goes to Banks, and then after that,
one of the 5 visitors.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be able to take more. I don't understand how. And I honestly, at this point, have no idea what the numbers are going to look like for anything in the future. But yeah, I expect them to be able to take more. I just don't think they could take all 5.
There are 5.
It feels like 3 to 4 is about where it's at.
For people that are wondering what we're talking about, they have 5 portal visitors coming in this week. One was in town yesterday, Isaiah Nayor, who's a receiver from Texas by way of Wyoming. So he was here, and that's why Dylan was at the game, according to his dad. Dylan is a recruiter, essentially. The big horse is in town recruiting. Can I call him the big
You're going
horse?
to call everybody the big horse that you can.
I mean, if they get Dowdell, are you going to call him the big horse?
Anybody you can possibly call a big horse, he's going to call them a big horse. It's his favorite.
Are you going to make
nickname.
noises for Dylan when he's back there passing? I know that.
Give us an example of a noise he might make.
Like, what does a quarterback noise sound like?
I have to think. Can I please think about that a little bit?
Sure.
Oh.
We need to be prepared for the noises you're going to make when Dylan does something big.
I'm not making it right now. I'm not ready for this.
He's going to grunt.
Yeah.
He's going to grunt.
All right. Well, there you go. That's pretty key recruiting week. Mike.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in terms of last night, there's a bunch of offers that went out to Nebraska.
Yeah.
Kids.
Yes.
Who received offers that you were aware of?
Okay. So I talked with Pierce Mooberry,
Yes.
the defensive back linebacker from Millard North, 6'4", 200 pounds. He is he said Nebraska is kind of recruiting him at the rover spot.
Okay.
So that I found sort of interesting. All of these guys have a very similar body type, which is probably the most prevalent body type that Nebraska high school has to offer. And that is why there's all of these Power 5 tight ends coming out of Nebraska, just multiple. There is right here in town in Lincoln, Jackson Carpenter is at Lincoln Southwest. Alan True caught up with him. I don't know exactly where Nebraska is looking at for Jackson Carpenter, but he's another, again, 6'3", 6'4", 200-pound athlete. And then
Legacy player also.
Yep.
Legacy player Tim Carpenter. Yep.
And then
Absolutely.
there was one that
Dad's from Columbus.
Brunt caught up with.
There it is.
Big horse.
That
What's wrong with you?
Go ahead.
No, you're good. I couldn't think of the name. I changed the letters for the first and the last name. So it's Ryman Ziebert. And if I would have just said it, I would have said Zyman Rebert. So I needed to make sure I got that
Good
correct.
job confirming that.
He is a 2025 from Platteview, 6'6", 210 pounds.
Okay.
The kind of, it's hard to even say this because it's unfair because Carter Nelson is such a unique player, but that would be the sort of similar body type to that, just a freakish athlete that's really good at basketball. Maybe doesn't have the high jumping skills of the state champion that Carter Nelson has, but Ryman Siebert is a guy that Bruns has been kind of, watching for a while. Had 677 yards receiving last year. Again, another tight end prospect.
Bruns likes it.
Yeah, Bruns has been expecting this one coming for a while. So, three sort of really interesting offers. Again, all very similar body types in that 6'6" to 6'3.5", 215 pounds or so. And then one they're looking at as a line. I think two on the defensive side, and then one in Siebert as a tight end.
Ryman
Siebert.
Siebert.
Please
I don't know why I want to call him Simon Riebert. I just do.
Kind of a cool name.
I like it. Jake, allow me to venture outside my lane real quick.
This could go
with
a lot of different places.
I'm venturing outside my lane. Schaefer,
I'm nervous.
Schaefer, you cover this. You've covered it more years than me, recruiting. I was impressed, maybe unduly impressed, but I was impressed that Rule is the one who called Mooberry. He texted him.
Yep.
Rule texted Mooberry, Pierce.
We called him, then he texted him when Mooberry didn't. Mooberry screened his call. So Pierce is telling me this.
Rule.
He's like,
okay,
there's a number coming across and I don't have it at my phone. And I just, I didn't think I didn't know who it was. I didn't, whatever.
And then
he's like, and then I got a text and the text is like, hey, this is Coach Rule. If you have a chance, give me a call.
If you have a chance, call me back.
Yeah, and he was like, I felt really dumb.
Well,
so I called immediately.
But you guys are native Nebraskans. I mean, and I'm older. I'm trying to think as a high school kid getting a call from Tom Osborne that said, please call me back. Matt Rule in this case. That's
Could
amazing.
not imagine it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Could not imagine it.
That's amazing.
If you get the time.
I would also
if you get the time, if you call me back, it's Matt Rule.
Mom, the way my personality is, I would have a tough time believing that it's actually going to be Matt Rule on the other end of the phone.
100.
What's the AI on the phone?
Right.
Some sort of voice person.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Some sort of computer thing.
But
Matt Rule's calling me.
Dude, I mean, I was just impressed that the head coach did that because I don't think all head coaches do it.
Mike Riley was really big on making the in-state offers here in Nebraska. He certainly was the one that did that.
How about Frost?
I feel like it was sometimes Frost, sometimes Barrett Rude, sometimes the position coach.
That was my impression.
It wasn't always Frost, and I don't know that that's the.
I don't know if it's
thing,
always Rule. I don't know if it's always Rule.
It has been Rule for a lot of them. I mean, it was Rule for Jalen Lloyd was the first offer they made. It was Rule for trying to think of who else. I think Donovan Jones, when he got his phone call, it started with Evan Cooper, and then they put Rule on, that kind of thing. Look, he's usually pretty involved with the in-state stuff.
I like
it. I think that's by design.
I like that picture.
I think they want the high school coaches in the state to know that they may not be able to take everybody, but they're not going to miss on people. Like first of all, if your kid's good enough, he needs to go to a camp. And then if he has been at a camp or if he didn't, but he's still good enough, they're going to find you anyways.
Right.
And again, they might not be able to take everybody. They couldn't take Michael Burt. They didn't take Caleb Pyfrom. They didn't take other guys last year that ended up as Power 5 players, but they certainly are going to be aware of them, which is a lot more than maybe you could say from the previous couple staffs that with their in-state kind of
100
effort.
And Rule emphasizes the camp. I mean, he wants them at the camp.
And I love it because it's, you have stories like Donovan Jones and some of these other guys where it's like, if they didn't go to that camp, they probably aren't seen, but the fact they did go to that camp allowed them to get an offer. So it's basically like, if you're a good player in state and you think you're good enough to play, whether it's a walk-on or scholarship, but you don't go to those summer camps, you're doing yourself such a huge disservice.
100.
There's multiple players in Omaha that I know of in the 25 and 26 class that skipped Nebraska's camp last summer.
Cost them.
That aren't hearing from the staff because they're, they didn't get to work with them.
They want them there.
And then basically what they've heard from them is, hey, we want you to come to junior days and to come to, this camp. We're not going to chase you necessarily. Like, we know you exist, but you got to show it.
Come show us. And Jake, the thing, it's not always like the head coaches sometimes aren't very involved in these camps. I've watched the camps. Rule has a stopwatch.
Yeah.
I mean, he's asking kids. He's pointing out kid, hey, come run for me.
You want to see him involved. Watch the one-on-ones between offensive line, defensive line. He was working with, I think it was like Jack Limbaugh and Jake Peters last year, and just like going up and talking to him about different things. And
I love that part of Rule. I love that. Love it.
Yeah, no, it's a different, the camp thing especially is very, very different than any of the coaches that I have covered.
Thank you.
They are
Thank you.
Far more in tune with what they want to get out of it than the, we're just going to throw some cones out there and guys are going to get some T-shirts and an opportunity to get a photo of coach. And that's what the camp is.
The Nebraska camp shift is sort of amazing to watch.
Yeah,
it is.
They needed it. They desperately needed it.
Yeah. I mean, here's the deal. At Nebraska right now, everything matters in recruiting. You got to, because it's very difficult.
You got to find your edge.
Right.
I mean, if you have guys that can play in your state and you can keep them, and whether walk-ons or whether as scholarship guys, like that needs to be your edge.
Right.
When we come back, we'll get to Bill's thrills. Jake's takes today, and we'll work in basketball in that conversation because Nebraska, the men, are 12-2. Best start in 30 years, 31
Good
years
God.
for Nebraska
Good
basketball.
God.
We'll discuss it all next in an early break in the ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Bagels & Joe is celebrating 31 years of business this year. With 4 Lincoln locations and 1 in Seward, there's more options for your favorite breakfast spot in town. And don't forget the Joe card for unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per person per month. Bagels & Joe, celebrating 31 years of serving Lincoln and the surrounding areas.
Ready to upgrade your combine with new technology to make your harvest more efficient, meaning more money in your pocket? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help find the right combine for harvest. Plus, when you purchase a pre-owned combine from Landmark, you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network, along with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running, reducing downtime. View inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown returns to Lincoln, January 12th, 6:45 p.m. Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Let's throw down right now.
See Rey Mysterio, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, The Street Profits, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, Carlito, and more. It's WWE's Friday Night SmackDown in Lincoln, January 12th. Tickets start at $25 and on sale now. Ticketmaster.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
If your home isn't delivering the year-round comfort you expect, call the experts at Bryant. Warm and cool, comfort and confidence. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 467-1111.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy new year. They are thankful for many things from 2023 and hope that 2024 brings prosperity for you and starts off well for everyone in your life. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see some areas of fog. Otherwise, cloudy skies are expected for today. We'll see higher on 35. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies with a low around 25. And tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies will continue throughout the day. We'll see a high around 37. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Jeff Essing, owner of Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping and host of Fitness Fanatics. Over the years, we've helped countless people gain strength, lose fat, build confidence, and change their life. And it all starts with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. Now is the best time to sign up with the new year right around the corner. You can enroll for the January 10-Week Challenge for only $299. That's 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching. Head to fxblincoln.com for more information on how to enroll. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
As always, you can call or text us 402-464-5685. Again, Mike Schaefer in to answer recruiting questions and more. We talked a lot of recruiting in the first segment, though, about portal and non-portal guys. So
Schaefer covered a lot. Though.
Schaefer is he's a pro. He's an expert. So
thank you.
Before we get to basketball from last night, we have to do Bill's Thrills.
Yes, you're up.
Bill's not here today, but I am. And when he's gone, it's usually you or me does it, and today it's Jake's Takes. So, without further ado, let's fire up the intro.
Some call him the most interesting man in the world.
That is setting up the morel mushroom bonanza.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it gonna be bonanza?
Mushrooms grow better with thunder and lightning.
Others call him Coach. But to everyone else, he's Bill.
I want to get one of those military ab stimulators for us to wear during the show. You see, I sent you today.
It's time for Bill's Thrills on Early Break. Sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors.
Bill's Thrills, Jake's Takes, Sips Tips, all sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors, the ATMs, the cash cows, and Lincoln. I'll keep this short because I want to get to hoops. But speaking of hoops, cool parenting tips, Thursday. Take your kids to basketball games. Don't be afraid. Sip, you're taking grandkids to Memphis for basketball, right?
3 of them to the Memphis Grizzlies Orlando Magic game. I think it's January 26th.
Yep.
January 26th.
Very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll experience Beale Street.
You
Dominic.
gonna go to Graceland too?
I think we should. We haven't exactly worked that part out.
Do the kids want to go there?
I
guess
think
would be
they would. I mean, the kid Dominic's 23, so we're
Kids for you.
Yeah, so we're going to Beale Street with Dominic now. Now that Cashton is he's like 14, so the age ranges, and Alex is 17, so I can't take them all to Beale Street. Although, not into the bars, but you can go to the eateries. Anyway, yes. Take them to Nebraska. Yeah. Well, there's barbecue.
Yeah.
There's famous barbecue on Beale Street.
Eatery is not a word that I hear a lot.
That's an old man term.
Yeah, I know. That's why I emphasized it.
Eatery. So, Jake, are you suggesting that people should take their kids to basketball games at Nebraska?
Yes, take them to Nebraska basketball games. When I was a kid, I went to my first game when I was like 6 or 7 years old. I don't remember the exact age. It was 6 or 7, and that was back when they had the court was cool. They had like the basketball free throw line, looked awesome. They had the script Huskers at midcourt.
What years were talking
like
about?
97 or 98?
97, 98. So that would have been who was playing.
Well,
that was Tyronn Lue and Vincent Hamilton.
Vincent Hamilton.
Yeah.
Vincent Hamilton. Yeah.
Ty Lue.
Markowski was playing.
Low Flow.
Yep.
Larry Florence.
Yeah, Larry Florence. Yeah, exactly. You got this.
Yeah, Schaefer. Did you go as a youth?
Yeah, so I was actually going to say, and this doesn't paint me in a super positive light here, but the first game I ever went to was Nebraska, Missouri, I think, and it was probably like 95, 96, like right in there. And I don't know if any other kid has ever struggled with this, but you grow up, you have professional sports. And other than if you, some reason or another, are watching the Canadian Football League, in the professional sports, nobody has the same name. But when you go and you watch the Missouri Tigers, and for whatever reason, I was very familiar with the LSU Tigers at that time, I was dumbfounded by the idea that these two schools could have the same name because no one else had the name Huskers or Cornhuskers.
Right.
And
you were
I was like, how could there be multiple Tigers? Like, what is this? And I was more perplexed and baffled by that than I remember anything else about the basketball game. But I will never forget the weird, the look that I got from my dad when I was like, how can there be this many teams named the Tigers? Isn't that confusing? And he just kind of looks at you like, just stop talking.
He had a lot of other things on his mind.
Yeah, he was not someone who contemplated life in the way that I would go forward to do, the rest of it.
I get it.
But
my dad would pull me out of basketball practice, and Al Schnabel, you probably remember the name.
Schnabel.
I do know the name. Yeah.
Al Schnabel would allow it. I mean, we would sometimes, it only happened a few times, but for big games, my dad brought me down. If it was Kansas, for instance.
Can't miss that one.
Oklahoma State. I saw Ron Kellogg go off in the Devaney Center one time, like 30-plus points, maybe missed 2 shots. Old guys will remember and maybe correct me. He didn't miss many shots. I don't know if you guys remember Ron Kellogg. You remember you remember the quarterback.
I do remember
that was his son.
Yeah.
But his
thank
dad,
you for that. I couldn't associate that together.
His family lineage always important to point out.
His dad was a very angular shooting forward for Kansas. It was amazing. But yeah, those were Jake. I like your topic because those were amazing memories for me.
I know it's hard to take them to an 8 p.m. game. I didn't even go last night, but I would assume for 6 p.m. games or at least weekend games, take your kids to games if you want to. Deal with it.
There's definitely kids right in front of me at the 8 p.m. game. You can take them.
They're back, I think, on Monday, so they're still on holiday break. Just take them. Take them.
100.
That's Bill's. That's Jake's Takes, aka Bill's Thrill, sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid Plains Advisors, the ATMs, the cash cows, and Lincoln. Before the game show, regarding that game, you were there, Schaefer. Me and Sip were not there. We did listen and I watched the second half, but Huskers win 86-70. It was a team effort. Rick Mass didn't know if he was going to play. He started. Not only did he play, he started the game. 30 minutes of playing time last night. Now, which a lot is because of foul trouble for Nebraska, so he had to play longer than he wanted to. But 9 points, 3 boards. He had assists were good. He looked good. And Tominaga 28 points. Wiltshire again off the bench 11 points, 3 big threes in that game. They 12-2. They're 17-4 their last 21 games. I mean, they're playing some ball right now. The boys are playing some ball. What was you were there? What was the crowd like, and what your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean the crowd was good. My initial thought is there's very few times that I can just sit here and think Nebraska basketball has a more complete, better team than Indiana. It's very rare to be able to say such a thing, and that is very true. I mean, it wasn't even as close as that 16-point margin.
Really
I mean, Nebraska was significantly better in almost, and Indiana didn't even shoot poorly, which is kind of their bugaboo. Like they're a bad shooting team, and they shot
9 for 18,
46% from the field, and they were a good good from 3 last
9
night.
for 18 from
but
three.
they turned it over. They couldn't handle Nebraska's
19.
defense. They couldn't handle the length. They were trying jump passes they couldn't make. Nebraska just kept putting them in bad spots. And then to the credit of what Fred Hoiberg has built here, you tend to think of Nebraska basketball only really being able to win in one way throughout history, and that's like you kind of need your best players to always sort of perform. And then certainly the last tournament team, Turan Petaway, had to like do a lot. And the nice thing with what they have right now is that they get these spurts from Tominaga where he's clearly the best player in the in the arena on the court. But then if he is off or isn't out there, Bryce Williams can take over. And then there was moments where Jamarcus Lawrence reminded us he's really good. He hasn't had the best year so far, but he can come down and he can can a big 3-pointer.
12 points
Rink
last night for
Mass
Jamarcus.
held it on his own inside, and you didn't get a great game from Juwan Gary, who is generally been kind of the catalyst to a lot of their success. So it's really nice to see that not only are they talented, and they're one of the better looking Big Ten basketball teams, certainly that Hoiberg has had, but just that Nebraska has had too. It's just nice that there's people that they can rely on that doesn't have to be the star all the time. And it's weird because you would think coming in that Tominaga was going to be that guy. And last night was the first time that he's had like what we saw last February. And maybe he's just saving it all for conference play, but teams just don't really have an answer for him. Because if you close too hard on him, he has just nailed the art of getting into the lane and floating.
Had to.
He's fun to watch.
The touch he has on those shots, incredible.
Yeah, he had to do it.
Yeah, he is.
And he had developed his game.
Fred Hoiberg's offense, when they pass the ball well, they have open looks on those backdoor cuts 7 out of 10 times.
Yeah, and it's
it is impressive.
It is not by accident. Fred, anybody that knows anybody in basketball will say Fred coaches offense at a super high level. I mean, a super high level.
When they're on, you can see why they're a challenge for anybody.
Their ball movement was incredible last night. And Hoiberg mentioned that. He said the movement was amazing. And it was. They passed the ball well. You could tell with all the points. You had 4 guys in double figures. You won by 16 points.
How many assists did they have? I feel like
Nebraska had 15 assists.
Good. Yeah. Good number.
It's a good amount for them.
Good number, and forcing 19 turnovers in a Big Ten game is a good number. They forced 19.
The thing is also, everyone contributed assist-wise. Jawan had 2, Mass 3, Bryce 1, Lawrence 3, Josiah 3. They all passed the ball well. So it's a very unselfish team. And going back to Tominaga, you said he developed the inside shot. That's kudos to him playing all these against these great players in the offseason in FIBA stuff.
He had to
3-on-3 stuff. You got to be creative with your shots. He learned that shot when he's playing in these 3-on-3 tournaments.
Fortunately, we've gotten a chance to actually watch a player develop because he's been here.
Yes,
it's not just a 2 and done, 1 and done. We've seen him develop into just mostly a 3-point shooter, into someone who can not only shoot the mid-range, but get to the basket.
Yeah.
He
finishes when he's at the basket.
Yeah.
For a guy who's the smallest guy on the court,
Good
unless
finisher.
Hoiberg's out there with him, Sam Hoiberg, he finishes at the rim.
He just must work tirelessly
because it's
not
impressive. It really is impressive.
Huskers 12-2, 2-1 in conference play, best start since 1991-92.
Doesn't it tie 2010, 2011?
Someone I
think they're 12-2 that year as well.
Okay, well,
Jake,
I keep seeing that everywhere.
Well, I think it ties the best start since then, but then everyone goes to 90, 91
because it's farther back. It's more impressive.
2010, 2011. Who's that team?
It was we were just talking about it during the break. That was the Bear Jones game-winning shot against USC.
I know.
They didn't play anybody really.
No, that was the year they beat Texas, number 2 Texas, also. Penn
they were a
State.
bubble team.
That was Tony McRae on that.
Was
team.
that Verlander?
Brandon Richardson. I think
he was gone by
before then.
Oh,
yep.
okay.
Brandon Richardson, Tony McRae.
Okay.
Not Joe McRae,
they were
Tony
13.
Little
McRae.
Brandon Richardson, little guy.
He went on to play in Iceland, I think. He played Iceland.
Tony McRae, who I saw in a couple times in Dairy Queen on 48 in the the 48th and Layton area.
Was it Brian Diaz in that team, Jorge, or not? Was it after that?
He might have been the freshman.
Almeida,
He might have been the freshman big man that year.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they did not play anybody really. So their big wins were they beat Creighton that year, 59-54. They beat USC. They beat TCU. They got a win against Iowa State to start conference play. And they won a tournament that included Vanderbilt, Davidson, and Hofstra in the Jose Miguel Agrilo Coliseum.
I forget what year they had Bo Spencer, the LSU transfer who had
I think
the
that was
star
next
tattoo.
year. I think it was 2011, 2012.
Yeah, Bo Spencer was kind of fun.
Could shoot a
He was
little
fun. He liked to shoot the ball a
Yeah,
lot. He
could
shot
shoot.
a lot.
Yeah, he took deep threes.
He did. Again, Husker 12-2. They play Wisconsin, ranked Wisconsin on Saturday, 1:15 tip. I'm sure that'll be a very highly watched game for Nebraska fans, as it should be. 12-2. Come on, get on board.
And then Purdue next home game. You're going to see the big man. 8 p.m. start. Take your kid. There was kids there last night. Just take them. They can sleep during school. It's fine.
Yeah, I will be there. I will be at Purdue, Nebraska for sure.
Better get to
Hold me to that one, all right? It's time to play the game show. Give us a call right now at 464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. We had no show on Monday. Sip one on Tuesday. Yesterday, him and Bill lost in Nebraska breweries. They got smoked.
That'd have been a fun one.
Yep, it was fun. They didn't have fun, though. They lost.
I think it'd be more difficult for them.
For the younger generation.
Today's topic, while we're high on Nebraska basketball, and they're thinking, hey, this could be an NCAA tournament team. How about the last team to do that? The 2013-14 Nebraska basketball team is our trivia today. Players, games, moments.
Good God.
Coaches.
Yeah,
I feel good.
I feel just okay.
If you think you remember the 2013-14 Nebraska basketball team that went to the tournament well, call us 464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
We have a line open. Don't be scared. I know there's some basketball diehards out there. I'm a Nebraska ball diehard.
Yeah,
I would love this topic if I was a listener in the car right now.
Yeah. I mean, I covered that game in San Antonio, the NCAA game, but I'm struggling to remember individual members.
They played Baylor.
Baylor.
Yeah.
It's in San Antonio.
Yeah, don't bring up too much. There's trivia involved
yeah. What am
here.
I doing? Yeah.
Yeah. Bella's getting our caller over there. I'm Schaefer. You feel good about 13-14?
I feel good about it, yeah.
Basketball.
That was the first season in the arena. I could tell you who their first opponent was. I could tell you who made the first basket. I could tell you what type of basket it was.
It was probably a round basket.
Well, yes.
Orange
The basket was the same. The
With a
physical
net.
basket was the same. The shot was unique.
Okay.
All right.
Josh.
Josh keeps talking to Bella over there. All right. I believe Josh is gone. We lost Josh.
Maybe Josh only
Try
wanted to
somebody
talk
else,
to Bella.
Bella. Josh is gone.
Josh.
We had Josh.
It's okay.
And then Josh dropped off.
We're in no major hurry.
No, it's okay. We can live with this.
We can go 2 minutes
People
off.
People are nervous of you guys in this one today.
I'm nervous.
I don't
should
know why
remember.
Sipple's nervous. He shouldn't be nervous.
I fade in and out on basketball, quite frankly.
Look, very understandable.
I consider myself a football writer.
But given that was like the one year oasis in a desert of failure.
Basketball in Nebraska, covering Nebraska men's basketball has been just a strange thing for me. I mean, it's usually I have to weigh in when the coach is in trouble, and then it becomes that, always.
Sipple's got a basketball column.
Right,
They
yeah,
must be looking for a coaching change.
Okay, we got to call. Is this Tall? Who do we have? What's our caller's name? Paul?
Paul Moody.
Paul. We got Paul. Okay, Paul. Thanks for calling in, Paul. First question goes to you, and Schaefer will be a lifeline for one question for Sip. Paul, the 2013-14 Nebraska men's basketball team had just one loss at home. Who did they lose to by 1 point in that loss?
Kansas.
Is it Kansas?
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Okay, I'm going to play the Schaefer card.
I have it. I was at this game. Turan Petaway went for a right-handed layup that did not land. Leslie Smith missed the tip in.
Yep.
And Nebraska lost to Michigan, their only loss at home in
Painful.
2013-14.
I was also there.
Home loss.
Yes.
Is
Yeah, it was
all
the first
they
year
have.
of the building. It was a huge deal.
Yeah, Nebraska had a chance in the last possession.
They
to
should have
win,
won
and
that
they
game.
missed two easy shots.
Give me a
Leslie-
Michigan player. Give me a Michigan.
From that team? Was that a who was the big guy? The Nah, before Mo Wagner or Wagner.
I can't think of that team.
McGarry?
Yeah, Mitch McGarry. Was on
I think,
that team.
I think he was on that
You
team.
guys are
Mitch
incredible.
McGarry. Yeah.
Nice job.
All right, Sip, you're on your own because Schaefer's helped you out. 1-0 lead. Teran Petaway led the 2013-14 team with 18.1 points per game. Who was second with 12.8 points per game?
Probably that little shooter from Albuquerque. Was there a little
So
shooter?
many things
Was
wrong
there a
right
little
now.
shooter from Albuquerque?
I'll correct you when you try to guess this person.
Who was the second leading scorer? Petaway was number one.
You can't. Schaefer's out. He can't help you. 12.8 points per game. 5 seconds. 5.
Or he could have been that little guard. Another guard.
3. 2.
I can't even name
1. No names at all.
No name.
Okay, we'll have an empty guess. Paul, do you want to steal or you want to let that one go?
I'll try stealing it.
Go for it.
Walter Pittsburgh.
Not a bad guess.
Pittsburgh was third behind Schaefer.
It was a guard.
I don't have it.
Siobhan Shields.
Okay.
It was not a guard.
I should have had that.
Kind of a guard.
Guard forward. He kind of split there.
Who was the guard I'm talking about?
You're thinking of Ray Gallegos.
Who's from Salt Lake
He's
City.
from Utah.
He's from Salt Lake City.
Okay, he's not
Yeah.
from Albuquerque.
Similar. It's a four-corner state, so I'll give you credit for that.
All right. Well, the good
Ray
news,
Gallegos.
the good news for you is you're up 1 to -1 because Paul went for it and got it wrong.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Paul, to stay alive, your last question. What player was dismissed from the team in the middle of conference play on January 27th in the 2013-14 Nebraska basketball season?
If you need a further hint, it was after the Penn State game.
There's a further hint. To stay alive, Paul, down 1 to -1.
No idea.
Yeah, and any guess is better than nothing. Name a Nebraska ball player all time. Fine.
Jordan Terrence.
All right.
The answer, Schaefer?
He's in my phone, and as far as I know, is still alive. So,
Wow.
Deverell Biggs.
Deverell Biggs.
He's still
is
alive.
correct. He's still alive.
Yeah, he's still with
Well,
us.
I'm just going back with the previous
We
conversation.
will get Paul a bagel and a coffee, but that's a victory today. You're now 2-1 on the
I can't
week.
believe I couldn't come up
Jake.
with Siobhan Shields.
Give me some love.
He wants some
Give
nuts.
me some love.
Good win.
Last
Good one.
Okay,
Yeah,
we
good
got
job,
one
buddy.
more and a tiebreaker here because I like
Okay,
this.
how you want to do this? You want me? It's a race.
Yeah, this we should get this right away. This should be
Race.
very quick. Okay, what coach departed from Nebraska to become a head coach after the
Craig Smith.
2013-14 season? Was it Craig Smith?
Brilliant.
That is correct.
That was incredible.
I didn't know how long I should let him keep
No,
talking.
you're fine.
All right, now
It was
It was
one
a
of those
race.
like
Now,
Jeopardy
it was a
things.
race.
now
Yeah.
Bill is usually the king of the numbers.
Yeah.
He's out
I'll put the
today.
number out.
Okay.
And,
All right.
and Schaefer go high or low.
Nebraska averaged 66.8 points per game in the 2013-14 season. Where did that rank out of 351 Division I teams?
Okay, I can do this. 66.8.
Yep, and out of 351 teams, where did that rank in points per game?
That must have ranked 157.
Schaefer, higher or lower?
Okay, so just to clarify, if I say 156, is that lower or higher?
What did he say?
Yes.
157.
That'd be higher.
That'd be high. Could it be ranked
Yeah,
higher
yeah.
towards the
Closer
top? I
to
just wanted to
one.
make sure
Yeah.
on that. I'm going to say slightly higher.
How about this is 279th?
Oh wow!
They were the lower
Didn't score
tier.
much. Interesting.
66 points per game was
Yeah.
almost it was in the very lower
I
tier.
just assume there's a lot more teams that play like right around 60.
Yeah, interesting.
We've been used to Doc Sadler.
They
ball
were
wheel.
what now again? Say that again.
279th out of 351 in
Wow.
points per game at
I should look
66.8.
this up. I think Nebraska scored 80 points more this year than they have in like, I don't know, decades.
Very
Basically,
possible.
Yeah.
like they just have not been. Even their best teams under Miles were not scoring teams.
No, they weren't. Miles always reminded me a little bit of Iba, the way they played. Mo Iba. And that would be like an Iba type number. Mo Iba. Jake, just let me do
Someone
that.
in Texas says little shooter from Albuquerque sounds like an episode from Breaking Bad. No, it wasn't.
Did I get any
Hey,
heat?
you won the game. No.
Did I get any
Is that
go-
Todd's nickname? from
Someone
Breaking Bad?
says lucky I can't call today. So
Was
they would've
there?
taken
Was,
you down.
wait a second. Was there any? Did anybody judge it inappropriate that we talked about names in the phone that were deceased?
I didn't see anything bad about
Okay.
that.
I don't think that's.
Spillover's next, an early break on the ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Why are New Year's resolutions always about getting to the gym more or dieting? We fail ourselves before the first month of the year is already over. Why not resolve to eat better, tastier foods in 2024? Look no further than Fuhrer's cheese spread. Stop eating your apples, vegetables, crackers, and chips plain. Give them some flavor. Fuhrer's cheese spread awakens your taste buds. Now that's how you start a new year. Find your container of Fuhrer's cheese spread today at your local grocery store.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see some areas of fog. Otherwise, cloudy skies are expected for today. We'll see higher on 35. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies with a low around 25. And tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies will continue throughout the day. We'll see a high around 37. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If your home isn't delivering the year-round comfort you expect, call the experts at Bryant. Warm and cool, comfort and confidence. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 467-1111.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
At Allo, we believe in the exceptional. From extraordinary whole home coverage to super fast speeds, our local teams are always on hand to make sure your service is running at top performance. Let go of lag, banish buffering, and enjoy outstanding service throughout your entire home. We believe in delivering nothing less than exceptional service, so that's exactly what we do. Visit us at allofiber.com to experience the exceptional.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown returns to Lincoln, January 12th, 6:45 p.m. Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Let's throw down right now.
See Rey Mysterio, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, The Street Profits, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, Carlito, and more. It's WWE's Friday Night SmackDown in Lincoln, January 12th. Tickets start at $25 and on sale now. Ticketmaster. This
I'm not on drugs. I'm not drunk.
is Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sometimes we spend the breaks doing some very odd research in here and just put a little, showing how the hot dog's made here at the Ticket and radio in general. We were going through out of all things, the Orlando Magic, their roster. There's like a ton of Michigan guys. Michigan Wolverines. So, by the way, this year Michigan stinks. Michigan is terrible. Juwan Howard, not the dude, not the guy from Michigan. Not going well for them.
No,
he just needs to threaten to kill another coach or punch another one, and they'll pick things up right there.
We were looking up Orlando because grandson Alex, loves the Orlando Magic. I
couldn't name a single player on the Magic, so they were giving me the roster.
Yes, Franz Wagner
and I know a lot
Mo
of the players.
They're both Michigan guys, as well as Caleb Houston. I don't remember the name at Michigan.
They're good. They are a good young NBA team that Alex knows an incredible amount about. In fact, I tell him all the time, you could probably be more effective than their GM at this point.
Yeah, but if they're winning now, hasn't their GM been effective to get them to the point that they're winning?
But there's some things that are still sticklers with Alex, like why does Jalen Suggs start over Cole Anthony? It's an ongoing issue with Alex.
It sounds like he's got a real beef with Jalen Suggs.
He has a big beef with Suggs.
He had 23 last night.
Suggs usually doesn't shoot it well.
He has a big beef with Suggs.
Yeah, he has problems with Jalen Suggs. And thinks Cole Anthony should be starting ahead of him, and he's not. There's pretty strong evidence to suggest that Anthony should. Anthony's a decent defender. I would say Suggs is an excellent defender. But I don't know.
Does not appear that Anthony played last night.
Did he? Is he hurt? He could be hurt.
Might be. He was not on the bench. He didn't play last night. Cole Anthony.
Is that right?
Yeah. But Jalen Suggs was 8 for 18 for 24 points.
It's a good night for Suggs.
Lost by 3 in overtime to the Kings.
You got a record.
Yeah,
there.
19 and 15 are the Magic. The Kings are 20 and 13.
Yeah. See, now the Magic has hit the skids a little bit. 19-15 is good.
They were playing good ball.
Yeah, but they were 8 over, 9 over.
Oh, wow. Yeah. They've gone back a little bit.
And this is the most Orlando Magic talk that the city's ever seen.
It is. I tell Alex all the time.
Ever.
Alex will say, I'll be like, what do you do tonight? Watching the Magic. And I'll say, there's probably maybe 5 people in the city of Lincoln, maybe, that are watching the Magic.
They were a really popular team when I was a kid, though.
Would you say less than 5?
Yeah, I go 2.
2.
Oh, there's more than 2.
That 2
like actively watching intentionally?
There's more than 2. I mean, Lincoln's a city of 300,000 people. There's more than 2
It's
Magic
an interesting
fans.
discussion to me. I never know what to think. That people who have the NBA
package or whatever. Yeah.
Now, how many people though are watching possession to possession?
Not that many.
Right.
That could be closer to 2.
2, yeah.
But no, I was going to say, growing up, the Magic were a popular team because they had Shaq and they had Penny and everybody liked Little Penny in the commercials. Nick Anderson, Horace Grant, they were good.
You're amazing.
I could probably talk easier about the 90s Magic and maybe the Dwight Howard era than I could about
Dwight with
anything.
Did you mention Jameer Nelson?
No, I did not mention Jameer
Remember Jameer Nelson?
I do remember Jameer Nelson.
Of St. Joe's fans.
Yes.
St. Joe's.
You guys are.
He was on that undefeated team.
That with Delonte West. They were very
Who's
good.
his coach, to bring it all back full circle, his coach there is the bench coach for Juwan Howard at Michigan.
Which Phil Martelli is his name.
Yeah.
You should have a sports show.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I might go that way at some point in my life.
You really think there's only 2 Magic fans in all of Lincoln?
That are watching the games?
I should put a poll out there.
They're watching every single game.
Yeah.
There's got to be more than 2.
There might be.
I'm going with 2 Magic fans.
Got to be more than 2.
Alex and one other person.
Some other rando.
He's got one random person besides Alex.
Some other rando.
So we know there's one. I'm going 2.
Could be a transplant from Orlando.
That's true. You don't think about that.
Right.
You don't think about the transplants.
Yeah,
Here.
especially going from Orlando to Lincoln. What kind of...
Could just be someone who really liked Nick Anderson in 1993.
Yeah,
and they just stuck with it.
Right.
Now it's 2024.
An
still there.
offspring.
Yeah.
An offspring somewhere.
Like I was a Sonics fan at one point, and then I obviously stopped.
Jack
but-
Sigma.
not Jack Sigma.
Marvin
not
Webster.
Tom Chambers either.
Oh, okay.
No,
Not that far back.
it's more Sean Kemp.
Okay.
Gary Payton.
Yeah.
Yes, the glove.
Yeah.
Gotta love Gary
Detlef
Payton.
Shrimp.
This has been the spillover.
This has been the most NBA talk that we've ever had.
Yeah, I'm sure the text line.
I'm sure they love that.
Yeah, someone said NBA is trash. NBA is irrelevant. NBA sucks.
I'm startled all the time by that sentiment.
That it's irrelevant?
Yeah,
or that
that
it sucks, or that it's trash.
Think about Christmas Day. That was owned by the NBA forever. And then the NFL says, we got this. And it just wiped out the NBA completely. And they still play the games. No one's watching them.
Here's my response to people. I get now there's it gets to be sort of an uncomfortable discussion, but I'm so deeply rooted in the history that I will overlook just some of the stuff that bothers people because I'm deeply rooted. 70s.
Got deep roots.
70s.
You remember the tape delay finals?
Yeah, I do. I remember.
those went into the 80s.
Yeah,
so.
I remember vividly the tape delay finals, but I remember vividly Bill Walton with the Trailblazers. You know, how incredible Walton was. As
Let me guess. Better times.
Way better. I mean, not even close.
This is wild because on a different radio show where you were a guest this week, the co-host asked you about the Orange Bowl against Miami and that team, and you're like, I don't remember any of it. But you can vividly remember the NBA, but you can't remember the 84 Orange Bowl.
We've had this very uncomfortable discussion. I was not a big football fan. I mean, I liked boxing. I liked NBA basketball. I liked horse racing. I didn't follow. I mean, I stumbled into the football thing.
Was it not like a big family thing?
Yeah, it was. I'd say
never caught your interest the same way.
It wasn't just my thing. I mean, I didn't get into the newspaper business thinking I'd cover football.
You want to be bowling?
No, I did not want to be bowling.
Horse racing and bowling.
I just thought I'd be a copy editor, or maybe.
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, the most thankless job in all of media.
Yeah.
The people that help you look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could never do that
praise
job.
at all.
Could never.
It just
do
evolved. It just evolved. And one day they said, hey, you're going to cover football. I'm like, oh, okay.
And here you are.
Yeah.
So no football. Bill Busch.
Stop it.
That's it for us. The Drive with Raph and AD is next for Steve Sipple and Mike Schaefer. I am Jake Sorensen. See you.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the